course, you want to stay detached, ladies, if you want men completely obsessed with you. What's up? I'm Natasha. If you are new here, I specialize in helping women with nervous system re regulating your feminine energy, and even your hormones. And of course, I was a former single mama with four little kiddos, attracted my amazing husband, and now we help women do the same thing.
And I'm Coach B, former lifelong bachelor, and I'm going to really help you ladies understand how to stay detached, the do's and don'ts, and
Mhm.
exactly why you need to follow these. I'm going to give you the male's perspective on that today.
This is going to be so fun. So, we both have some do's and don'ts on how to stay detached. So, we're not talking about you numbing yourself, you putting up the walls so you can't receive any love. We're talking about how do you stay emotionally detached from a really healthy, healed place? How do you stay energetically detached, but totally open and surrendered to attract healthy provider energy men that are ready for marriage, ladies.
Yeah,
Keyword
yeah.
ready for marriage. And so this is going to be so, so helpful for you. And then, of course, if you have questions, you can drop them below and we will answer those as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump straight into it. You want to give
Okay.
the first point?
Okay. And ladies, you should take notes because we've helped over 1,000 women to date. We got receipts. Okay. The ladies that stick to our programs and do the things that we help them with, the
Yeah.
ladies that we coach, end up getting engaged and married. Okay. So we know what we're talking
Yes.
about.
Yes. I'm excited for this one.
Okay. Okay. So my first point, you want me to go first?
Yeah. Can you go first? I'll
Okay.
still help out.
Okay. Okay. So my first point, this is huge. Of course, because we've been coaching so many women. So this is not just, our experience, even though I had to go through that phase of detaching, go no contact. And then eventually my husband came into the picture and we were engaged in 8 months, married 3 months later. So this is not just our personal experience, but the women that we've coached,
Yes.
we notice patterns, of course, when you're a coach. And one of the biggest tips I have for you for detaching to attract your amazing provider energy husband that just wants to spoil the crap out of you and marry you is I want you to keep doing your daily inner healing and inner work. A lot of women, what will happen is, they come across our channel, our podcast, they come across us on social media,
Mm-hmm.
they get really excited and they come into the Feminine Energy Academy and then they start doing, the inner work, inner healing. You start attracting men. That's like a guarantee that's going to
Right.
start happening when you do the stuff that we teach. And then, and this is not just in our programs, but just, in general, this is human nature,
Yeah.
where you're doing the work temporarily and then you're like, okay, I'm good. And then you kind of stop doing that and then you fall back into your old patterns. Okay, so this is not to shame you. I'm not calling you out or anything. I love you so much. It's just a pattern I've noticed
Mm.
with coaching so many women, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just human nature,
Yeah.
right? It's like, okay, I'm good now. I've lost 10 pounds,
Yep.
so now I'm going to start eating more junk food
Yep.
again. Or, I'm married now, so now I'm just going to go back to my old ways
Yeah.
of doing things. It's very much human nature
Yeah.
to do that. But like, I just think of business, for example.
Yeah.
As a business owner, the ones that get the greatest success, the ones that, on social media get the greatest success are the ones that are continuously getting that coaching and that feedback until you get the results that you want.
Mhm.
Dating is the exact same thing, ladies. If your goal is to attract an amazing provider man who wants to spoil you, marry, all that stuff, then you need to be keep doing the stuff that we're teaching you every single
Yeah.
day until you see the fruit in your life. Don't stop doing it until you see
Yeah.
the fruit and you're able to hold the fruit
Yes.
and without pushing it away.
No, it's
Yeah.
so key because what we see so often, and given the example of the weight loss and
Yeah.
start working out, it's January 1st. You go out and get your gloves, you go out and get your neck band, you get your hand weights, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
You're ready to start working out. You go for a couple of weeks, things are going well. You might lose a couple of inches,
Mhm.
a couple of pounds, then you start getting comfortable. And comfort can be a dangerous place
Yeah.
so often. Now, it's great to be content, but a lot of times when we get comfortable, then we start slacking off. And we
Mhm.
see that as well with the ladies that are looking to pursue relationships. They're starting to do a few things, then they start getting comfortable,
Yeah.
start saying, okay, I got it from here.
Yeah.
Thanks for this information. I'll take it from here. And
Mhm.
when that becomes your mentality, then you stop getting new information. You
Mhm.
stop getting information that'll help you in the process. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you never get to a place where you feel like I got it from here. Thanks for your help. Especially if this is not an area
Mm.
that you've had success in
Yeah.
your life in different
Yeah.
in the workspace, in working out, business, whatever. If you don't have a history of having success, taking it from here, you want to stay there
Mhm.
until you learn, until you're able to motivate yourself. You're able to do this
Yeah.
just naturally. It's
Mhm.
not something you have to think about.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, what we see is through that process, either because of fatigue, because of, okay, I'm tired of listening, I've heard this already. And
Mhm.
even those of us that follow scripture understand you can read the same thing over
Mhm.
and over and see it
Mhm.
differently, understand it differently. And it's the same when it comes down to
Mhm.
getting the information
Yeah.
so you can have those relationships. Depending on where you're at in your life, you're going to
Yeah.
hear it differently. So you want to stay connected to make sure you continue to have success.
Exactly, because otherwise what happens is sometimes we can fall into that needy energy or go back into our old attachment patterns.
Yes.
So if this is new for you and you're not even sure what your attachment style is, we have a free quiz where you can learn what your attachment style is, which is something that I really recommend you learning because it's going to help you, first of all, with the awareness piece and then the healing piece so that you don't keep repeating the same patterns
Yes.
over and over and over again with the same guys, just different guy, or it's the same guy, you're still in a situationship.
Yes.
It was actually really interesting. I just thought of this. One of our brand new lady, she's been with us, I think, just this month, ended a situationship and is already attracting really high
Yes.
quality men that are ready for marriage. Like
Yes.
are telling them or telling her and showing her that, they are serious about marriage. Right. And so in those types of situations, it's so good because yes, you're going to attract men when you're in that energetic detached
Mm-hmm.
place, what we teach our ladies. But then it's like that continuing doing the stuff that we teach until you cross that finish line, until you get the results, until
Yes.
you're engaged, but not only just engaged and married, but so you have the skill
Yes.
set. You have the skill
To
set to
continue.
have a healthy marriage, to have, because otherwise you're just suffering all
Yes.
through your dating
Yes.
patterns and in your relationships because you're just repeating the same cycle.
So
Yeah.
so good. So I'll go to the second
Okay.
point, and this is a do not
Yeah.
do, and this is for you ladies. Do not think that because he's calling you, because he's
Mm.
telling you he wants to be with you, he's telling you he wants to marry you.
Mhm.
He's even telling you he wants to be exclusive with you as well. Don't think that he wants to be with you just because he's telling you that stuff.
Mhm. Mhm.
One thing I always say: men will say anything.
Mm.
Men will say anything that they think will have your heart melting, will have you
Yeah.
go exclusive with them, will have you go all out. Whatever
Mhm.
it takes to get what they want, a
Mhm.
lot of men will say it in the moment. But
Mhm.
don't believe and do not go for it.
Mhm.
And what we always tell the ladies is watch what they do. Don't just listen to what they say.
Yeah.
Because men have a way of saying things. They understand. They listen. A lot of times men listen well.
Mhm.
They'll listen for exactly what it is you're looking for
Mhm.
because we don't speak as
Mhm.
quickly. We're trying to listen and figure
Mhm.
things out. So they'll figure out exactly what your previous relationship was lacking,
Yeah.
what your previous marriage was lacking, and then they'll tell you. They won't
Yeah.
necessarily do it. They'll
Mhm.
tell you that they're totally different. Oh no, I love that too. I love, watching paint dry as well. Like they'll tell you they'll tell you
That's so good.
anything
Mhm.
just because they understand that that's what you want to hear. But you have to watch and see what they do. And
Mhm.
a lot of times it's over time. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you ladies, some of you ladies have been in situations where as soon as you start talking, he's like, oh, I
Mhm.
see myself with you. I
Mhm.
want to marry you. I want to
Mhm.
fly out and come see you. And this is
Mhm.
this is like one conversation. So we don't want you to get all, up
Yeah.
in arms, all
Yeah.
melting, you announcing things to your family, letting them know you think you've met that one.
Mhm.
No, watch what they do over time. It'll tell you everything that you need to know.
That is so good, ladies. We cannot reiterate this enough.
Yeah.
And the wall's not up. Don't assume just because his energy is coming towards you that he is love bombing you, because that might not be true. Okay. His energy will come towards you if he's genuinely interested in you. So you want to receive it, but you want to stay detached, right? Which is what the whole point of
Yes.
this episode is all about.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, we're watching to see what he does, not what he
Hmm.
says,
Yes.
right? So even with my husband, I stayed totally detached. Even he was saying all the right things
Hmm.
right from the beginning,
Yes.
right? He
Yes.
knows. They
Yes.
know. I mean, this is why he can teach you this, right?
And
So,
like you said, it's not a bad thing for him
yeah.
to say this,
Yeah.
but I want you to stay detached from
Hmm.
him until you're starting moving towards until you're moving into marriage.
Yeah.
Anything less than marriage, less than
Hmm.
okay, he's ready to get engaged. He's
Hmm.
asking you, not he's ready, because
Hmm.
he'll tell you he's ready after
Yeah.
the second week, but then he'll wait another 3 years.
Yeah.
Like we were watching
Yeah.
the one show where the guy was like, he's waiting on her to give him an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Then he'll ask you. No, stay detached until he shows and proves to you
Hmm.
that you're the special one for him and then that he wants to marry you and make you his wife.
Okay. So good. Okay. I have another one.
Let's go with it.
Okay. And then I just thought of a don't also, so I'll leave that to the
Okay.
very end. Okay, another do for you ladies. This will help you stay detached so much. So, assuming you're doing the other thing that I just told you to do, which is you're doing your daily inner work, inner healing, your work on your personal development, right? So so your nervous system is healed. Another thing that will help you so much as a woman to stay detached, especially if you are talking to or dating a guy you really, really like, is you need to stay dating other guys.
Mm.
I am not saying sleep with any of them. Okay. I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying stay talking to other guys. Kind of look at it like you're on this like matchmaking journey
Mm.
where the matchmaker is giving you different options and you're getting to know different guys. And then you get to make that final decision of who you want to marry.
Yeah.
That's the mindset I want you to have, okay? Where you're not sleeping with them, but you're getting to know different guys and you're seeing, you're just observing. You're collecting data. You're not overthinking, you're not overanalyzing. You are just observing which guy is following through with what he says he is going to do because that's the one you want to be your husband, right? He needs to match, your non-negotiables, your love list, you guys are compatible, all the stuff that we teach. But even if there's one guy that you really, really like and there's other guys you don't really like, keep dating the other guys because what that's going to do with your energy, it's going to disperse your energy. So not all your energy is going towards the one guy that you really, really like.
Mm.
They can sense it. They can sense it. And men don't want all your energy coming towards them because that's masculine energy coming towards them that will repel him. So you want to give him space to come towards you consistently, okay, and fall in love with you and then want to marry you. So he's going to do that when you are detached, you have
Mhm.
other things going on in your life. You're not playing hard to get, you're not being manipulative. You are just a woman on a mission and you are intentionally dating for the purpose of marriage until the right guy steps up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is key. This isn't something that a
Yeah.
couple years ago I would have told you, ladies,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a man's secret. But but helping you to stay detached by
Mhm.
not really just going all in on him and dating other
Mhm.
guys is so key. It does so many things. First off, for you, like
Mhm.
you mentioned, but also from a male's perspective, when you're not giving all of your energy to someone who hasn't asked you to commit to them,
Mhm.
what it does is it causes them to, it lets them know, for one, they don't have you. They don't have, they don't
Mm.
have you whenever they call, reach out to you.
Mhm.
You're not just available for them like they want. So it causes
Mhm.
them to really make decisions, say, okay, is this the type of person that I want to get to know? Or am I just messing around with them? Because
Mhm.
what it is for men, if it takes a lot of work
Mhm.
and they don't really, you're someone that they want to be in a situationship with, they're not going to spend time with that. It's too much work.
Mhm.
Men want situationships to be easy, and they'll actually put in work for someone that they want to be with. So if they're
Mhm.
willing to put in work for you, reach out to you, have phone conversations, maybe a FaceTime, not always just let's meet up, after I get off work because I'm so busy, I'll
Mhm.
come over and get you, or let's just watch a movie. No, you have to go through the process
Mhm.
of getting to know this person and they have a schedule in life.
Mhm.
So you have a schedule in life, and each time that you go out, it's not that he has you for 3, 4, 5 hours. No,
Mhm.
you only have an hour available this time. Maybe we can get together next week because I'm doing something. That causes a man to say, okay, she's got some stuff going on. We want to look deeper into exactly what you have going on because this doesn't happen to me. People don't
Yeah.
tell me that they're so busy that
Mhm.
they can't just meet up when I ask them to. So if
Mhm.
he's interested in
Yeah.
you, this will really help him stand
Yeah.
out because he'll start the pursuing process. And you have to keep that energy
Mhm.
because if you allow him to get more of you too soon,
Mhm.
now he's going to pull back like he did before. So you keep him pursuing you by having a life, by
Mhm.
dating other people until he asks you to be exclusive.
Yeah, because what happens otherwise, ladies, if you genuinely don't have a life going on, you genuinely are not talking to other guys, you're just like not doing other things,
Hmm.
by default, you're going to be obsessing about the guy.
Yeah.
By default, you're going to have to like play games,
Yes.
which will never work, where you're like pretending you're busy so you can't answer your phone, even though you've been staring at your
Right.
phone every 2 seconds or your Instagram, right? So we don't want to be in that energy. We don't
Hmm.
want to be in manipulative energy
Yeah.
at all because you're going to attract that into your life. So you genuinely want to have other
Yeah.
things going on. You genuinely want to be dating other guys. Now, if you're like, I don't even know how to date other guys, of
Mhm.
course, this is what we teach. This is what we specialize in. Take that energy and use it on your glow up. Use it. We're running a weight loss challenge right
Mhm.
now for our ladies, right? Or work on your inner healing your love blocks, right?
Mhm.
Which is what we help our women use that energy to learn how to improve your communication or just other things that you have going on with your life. So learning how to date online, opening yourself up to date online, these are other things that other places you can put your energy in, so all your energy is not coming
Yes.
towards him. Okay, because
Yes.
he's going to feel it, he's going to sense it, and it's going to be a turn off.
Yes.
Okay, ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my next point,
Okay.
it's a do, but it's what I want you ladies to understand. I don't want
Okay.
you to do this. I want you ladies to understand. Do understand that if you're chasing a man, he's going to run. And when I say chasing a man, when you're pursuing him, when you like him more than he likes you, when you're like,
Mm.
okay, he's so nice looking,
Mm.
I'm just going to go over there and speak to him. I'm going to slide him my number even if he didn't ask for it. And when I say he's going to run, he may give you some action. He may,
Mhm.
compliment you, but he's never going to be the type of guy that wants to marry you if he's a
Mm.
healthy masculine energy man. So you want to make sure if
Yeah.
you're questioning yourself, like, am I chasing him? You're probably chasing him. And if you want to know even more in detail if you're chasing him, jump in the Feminine Energy Academy. We'll let you know if you're in your chasing mode. We
Mm.
have surveys, we have quizzes, we have so much to let you know. But understand,
Yeah.
if you're in your chasing energy, if you're just enamored with how he looks, all the things that men look for in women. If it's not about him being a provider, protector, and if you're not allowing him to come after you and you just feel like you always have to be in his face, you may not say anything, but you're just always in his face. You're just
Mm.
always complimenting him. You're asking his friends about him. All of that, trust me, he's going to run from a commitment from you even though he may be in your life.
That's so good, babe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, I have another one that's going to help you so much, and then we'll open up to questions.
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to be very, very challenging for you as a woman to stay detached from a guy if you're doing this thing.
Mm.
So this is a don't. If you want to stay emotionally detached, energetically detached, but keep yourself open so that you can date for marriage, so you can attract your amazing provider, high quality husband that does not waste your time but is ready for marriage. Don't sleep with the guys. Don't sleep with the guy, okay? Because how our brain works as women, when you sleep with a man,
Yes.
you get bonded to him hormonally, energetically,
Mm.
and spiritually. Okay. And it's subconscious. You think, oh, I just want to hook up. I just want a good time. right? But I mean, that's what a soul tie is. You quantum entangle with the person, his energy, your energy is now intertwined with each other. It's entangled, but even hormonally, you bond to him.
Mhm.
And that's just an evolutionary response
Mhm.
that we have developed as women, where, back in the day, the person, our husband, was our provider, literally. It was, our survival was attached to the man who was taking care of
Yeah.
us, for generations, really. And so hormonally, it made more sense for the woman to be hormonally bonded to the man that was her provider
Yeah.
for the survival of herself and her offspring. So it's all subconscious, right? But, fast forward to 2025 or whenever you're watching this, you don't necessarily need the man for survival,
Mhm.
right? But then you're sleeping with him. So but your physiology is still the same,
Yeah.
where you're hormonally bonding with the guy. You release oxytocin, you're releasing dopamine, and now you're bonded to him. He's not wired the same way. Men don't fall in love, and maybe you can talk about this in a
Yeah.
second. Men don't fall in love with women based on based on sleeping with them.
Right.
Okay. So men fall in love with you for other reasons. So it's so important that you are staying detached, not sleeping with him, because it's going to cloud your thinking. All of a sudden, you're not going to see all the red flags. You're not going to be able to see, hey, is this person a good match for me and for my kids? Does this person, is my life going to be the way I want it if I marry him? Because now you're like, oh, but I like how he makes me
Right.
feel. He makes me feel so amazing. I just love the chemistry. We have so much fun together. He's just so attractive. No,
Ah,
that is not what is going to help
no.
you as a woman have an amazing marriage and help you live that soft girl life.
No, I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up that point because
Yeah.
understanding that
Yeah.
no matter how you
Mhm.
try to adjust and say, okay, I'm
Yeah.
different, no matter how
Yeah.
you say, okay, I'm just like a man. I just
Yeah.
compart. No, men
Yeah.
men are built differently, even though it's not healthy
Yeah.
for a man to sleep around.
Yeah.
They're still built differently in a
Yeah.
sense of men compartmentalize. Men are able to say, okay, this was that. Now they move on
Yeah.
mentally, whereas you gave the example of how it affects a woman.
Yeah.
So that's not a road that you want to go down as
Mhm.
a woman because you hold on to stuff, you carry stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the nature of how
Yeah.
women are built. You carry the baby.
Yeah.
You're
We
going to,
carry stuff.
yeah.
Exactly.
You're going to carry every man that goes, every man that you end up sleeping with is
Mhm.
going to be a part of you. So you don't
Yeah.
want to just even develop that. And then
Mhm.
it doesn't help the relationship
Yeah.
because it does the opposite effect where if
Yeah.
you're not married to that person, then that man will probably withdraw. And
Mhm.
because I believe it happens so often, and sometimes they come back together, but
Yeah.
men will withdraw
Mhm.
if you give that up and you're not in a marriage situation. So
Yeah.
it's not even a road worth going down if you're
Mhm.
looking for a healthy relationship.
That's so good. All right. Should we
We,
answer some
yeah, we
questions?
had a couple of good ones. We had one that I
Okay.
wanted to get to. One of the ladies said, "You're talking about me all my life. Always
Yeah.
been a chaser. After one conversation, I see him in a tux
Mhm.
at the altar."
Yeah, and who is that saying that? Crystal?
Yeah, Krista.
Crystal, that is so normal for so many women. I mean, we grow up watching princess movies,
Mm,
right? Disney movies where we're fantasizing about Prince Charming and getting married and having a family. So there's nothing wrong at all. I mean, I believe that's just how God's wired us to desire that, right? Because it's actually meant for you.
mm,
But what we have to do as women is we have to make sure we're healed,
yes.
our nervous systems are healed, our attachment styles are healed, and we have the skill set, because otherwise we're just going to get attached to the wrong guys. We're going to get attached based on old attachment patterns
Mm,
that we learned from childhood, and it's all subconscious. You won't even realize you're doing it. The only time you can realize you're doing it is because you see the same pattern.
yeah.
I'm super attracted to this guy. I can see us getting married,
Yeah.
turns into a situationship where he goes ghosts, and then you repeat it again,
Yeah.
and then it repeats again, and it repeats again. And it's like, okay, I'm seeing the pattern. Maybe I should pause dating, and maybe I should get the healing that I need so that I can start attracting differently and holding and expanding my container, my energetic container to hold a really healthy marriage and a healthy relationship with
Yeah.
a healthy man.
And like you said, that's natural. A lot of
Yeah.
young girls think about that,
Yeah.
think about your wedding day.
Yeah.
The challenge comes in when you share it, when
Mm.
you're telling him this, because
Mm.
men think about stuff too. Men think about this could potentially be my wife.
Yeah.
We may not see the whole wedding and everything, but we may
Yeah.
see a life with you. But when you start sharing that as a woman with a man, that's where he starts to back up. That's because it feels out of order to us. It
Mm.
feels like that's our responsibility to tell you that we want
Mhm.
to be with you. So you throwing it out there first, or you talking about it all the time when
Mhm.
that's not a conversation for him from him, even though he saw you potentially being his wife,
Mhm.
the energy and the conversation will cause him to withdraw from you, and he won't understand why. He thought he liked you, he thought he wanted to be with you, but because it feels out of order on so many levels, the
Mhm.
man starts to withdraw, and you find yourself in the cycle of,
Mhm.
I thought he was the one, everything was going so well.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it just comes down to you being quiet.
Mhm.
And I talk about it all the time, what a man loves. Cute in the face, thin in the waist, not a lot to say. And that goes in line with not a lot to say. Allow him to be the one to lead those conversations.
Mhm.
Continue to pray. Continue to pray for your husband. Continue to do what you need to do
Mhm.
in preparing, but understand that getting ahead of things in that way can cause the man to withdraw.
And also, ladies, if you're finding yourself in the same patterns over and over and over again, and you feel like you've been doing the inner work, you've been making the changes, but you're still kind of in the same cycle, guys, are hot and heavy at the beginning and then they go ghost. I guaranteed it's one of two things. It's the type of men that you're picking, or it's your energy. There's a block subconsciously that's not allowing you to go to that next level. Dr. Gay Hendricks, I think his name is, he talks about, that upper limit. We all have this subconscious upper limit. And you even talked about this on
Mhm.
the last live stream where you subconsciously had the thought of relationships always end.
Oh yeah,
Right. And so
yeah,
these are like those little things that if you subconsciously don't realize you have these blocks, it's no matter how great the guy is, you're going to keep repeating the same
yeah.
patterns, or you are just picking the wrong guys. You're like straight up, you're just picking the wrong guys. And I know this to be true because I've coached so many women who are now married. Okay. Not they're now engaged and married,
Mhm.
not just in a relationship. And they all of them have said that this wasn't their usual type.
Yeah.
Right. So that's another factor that could be
No,
playing.
that upper limit is so
Yeah.
true. But
Yeah.
we'll definitely do something on that just to talk a little more deep about that
Mhm.
at a later time. Another question we have says, I was dating a great guy. He was laid off his job of 11 years.
Mm.
I had to detach. I wasn't dating others, but being a full-time mom and
Mhm.
nursing student and hobbies helped me out. I don't know how to be a serial dater.
Yeah. I mean, I totally understand that if you're a student, you're a mom, you're working, all of that stuff, then, you still want to, it's like do what you can, right? So, and I understand that because I was a single mom with four little kids. My kids were not big, my kids were really little, like still in car seats little. Okay. I understand that. And, I was running businesses, I was on social media, I was doing all that. My best advice for you ladies that are in that position where you feel like, there's like not enough time, make time, carve out time to at least do your inner work. If you do your inner work, the stuff that we teach you on here, on this channel, and in the Feminine Energy Academy, that in itself is going to make you super magnetic to healthy masculine energy men. Where even if you're not dating this second, time is going to come
Mhm.
where you can put yourself out there and intentionally call in your husband. And then at that point, you're going to be ready. And that's what I did, right? Like I wasn't just like, okay, I'm ready to date, blah, blah, blah. No, I spent a lot of time just working on myself, getting yourself ready, getting your kids ready.
Mhm.
Just know that your husband right now is currently walking around the planet. He's alive right now, walking around. Whoever's listening right now, your husband, listen to me, is walking around the planet right now. So your job as a woman, even if you're so busy, is to prepare yourself,
Mhm.
okay? And then let it go to God. Trust God, okay? And then when you're ready to intentionally date for marriage, that's when you want to, carve out that time, have the skill set. You don't want to waste your time. This is why you get coaching. Like anything in life, you want to lose weight, you want to work out, you want to, have that dream business, you get coaching to save you time,
Mm,
right? And then so but by that point you're ready, you've done the inner work. And then that's when we'll see some of our women that come into our programs and they're engaged in a few months.
yeah.
That doesn't happen to all of our women, but it happens to some of our women who have been doing the inner work and the healing.
Mm,
My case, just as an example, the first week I was online, I met my husband,
mm.
right? Not because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna, find my husband and go online. No, I had been doing so much inner healing up to that point. So that's what you need to focus on at this point.
Definitely, definitely good. So we have one person. Hey there, just tuning in from Sydney, Australia.
What's up, Sydney? And it's
Yes,
so cool. We've had so many women from Europe, from the Middle East, from Africa joining the
yes,
Feminine Energy Academy. So that's really exciting.
yes.
Yeah.
Is it howdy mate?
What's that?
Is it mate?
We were just with some Australians last week too.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
A married couple.
So,
Yeah.
how and when to have the exclusive talk?
Ooh. Is this a guy or girl talking?
This
As in,
looks like I'm not sure, but we can answer from both perspectives.
okay. So, ladies, for you, it's not that you are having an exclusive talk with him. You want him to bring it up. That's really important.
Yeah,
And then you just need to say what your requirements are. So that's going to be different for
yeah,
everyone. I don't encourage women, we don't encourage women to get exclusive with men until there's a ring on your
yeah,
finger or you have a clear
yes,
timeline of that ring. And it's not a year from now,
yes.
it's like in the next couple months type thing, because otherwise he's going to drag that out. But maybe you can do that because
Yeah,
you've
I
been there.
mean, having the exclusive talk, really, you want to make sure first off, and you talk about this all the time, babe, you have clarity on what you're looking for as a
Hmm.
woman. So
Hmm.
you want to make sure you're going into it not just, okay, whenever he's ready, okay, hopefully he's looking for that.
Yeah.
Have clarity. And as you're getting to know each other, as you're having different conversations and you're getting closer, it's good for you to start talking about what you're doing
Yeah.
within your relation. Like, okay, I'm dating for marriage exclusively. I plan like you did as well. I
Yeah.
plan on getting married in the next year.
Hmm.
You don't have to force him to be the guy.
Yeah.
He's not the person you're married. But when you're having those relationship conversations, feel free to bring that up. Now, if you don't have those conversations, then it lets you know where he's at
Hmm.
potentially. It lets you know that he may not be looking for what you're looking for. But
Mm.
as you have those conversations that he initiates, have those conversations about what you're doing in relationships or in the
Hmm.
dating field. And if he doesn't talk about it, if he doesn't talk about exclusivity,
Yeah.
then just continue rotationally dating because he may not be there with you. You don't want to force it upon him. You don't want to bring it up because he forgot or
Hmm.
he just don't want to talk about that. So
Yeah.
no. He needs to bring it up. Then you talk about what you're doing instead of what you all are doing together.
Hmm. Because men, they're not going to do what's required unless you require it of them.
Mm,
We always talk about this, the masculine response to the feminine.
mm.
So, ladies, if you have low standards, he's gonna, you'll have the same guy
Yep.
that will just turn into a situationship
Yes.
versus with another woman, he'll marry her,
Yes.
right? And so a man will do what's required of him
Yes.
at the end of the day.
Yes.
But for a lot of women, you haven't healed your abandonment wounds, you haven't healed your rejection wounds, you haven't healed the trauma out of your nervous
Mm.
system from the last guy that hurt you,
Yep.
right? It could have been from a divorce, it could have been from a baby daddy, it could have just been from a situationship, whatever. You're still holding that trauma in your nervous system. That's why it feels so hard to let go.
Mm.
That's why it feels so hard to stay detached, because you're worried that he might not like you
Yeah.
anymore,
Yep.
that he might move on to another woman, or you're not going to be the front runner as a woman anymore. And that's all that needy energy that's not going to allow you to attract an amazing man anyway,
Yes.
right? So you truly being detached is like, this is what I'm
Yes.
doing. I know I'm a catch. You don't tell him this stuff. Never
Don't
tell him.
post it on
Don't post
social
it on
media
social
either.
media. May the best man win.
Yes.
Please don't do
No,
that.
none of that.
Right? None of that. You're not trying to make him jealous. That will never, ever, ever work with a man making him jealous. But you are embodied in that energy of, I'm getting married, and I'm going to attract the right guy, and the one that shows himself to be worthy.
Yep.
That's the one I will be exclusive with. When he's ready for marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So another question, I believe she's in our Feminine Energy
Okay.
Academy. I began dating an amazing provider protector for marriage with a timeline of 1 year. Is this appropriate? Is this an appropriate timeline? And how do you stay detached while
Mm.
dating exclusively?
Okay, so this will come down to different women and what it is that you want. So you got to ask yourself, if a year goes by, okay, a whole year goes by, and you've just been exclusively dating this one guy. Okay, can you live with that if things don't work out?
Yeah, yeah,
Not that you're bracing your nervous system for the bottom to fall out or things to not work out, but you got to ask yourself, are you okay with that timeline? Because for some women, for example, some women want to have babies, right? You're in your 30s or maybe your 40s and you want to have babies. If I wanted to still have babies, I would not be giving a guy a 1 year timeline, right? I would be dating other guys until the right guy is actually ready for marriage. But so it really comes down to you and what you are okay with.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely the key
Yeah.
because 1 year can encompass so much. What has to
Mhm.
happen within that year, and even during that timeline, what if your even if your timeline 6 months,
Mhm.
you have to look at the signs leading up to it
Yeah.
because it's not just going to happen. Okay,
Yeah.
it's been 11 months and 29 days,
Mhm.
and now he's going to ask me. No, you have to watch the patterns,
Mhm.
and hopefully, you didn't tell him you're giving him a year. Don't It's not about him, it's about you. You're giving yourself a year.
Mhm.
You within the next year you're getting married. But if you're
Yeah.
telling him that, okay, well, we're going to see how it works, and if
Yeah.
you don't ask me to get married within the next year, then we're gone. A man will waste your entire year and
Yeah.
then just walk away
Yeah.
because he never had intentions. Because
Yeah.
one thing he thinks and understands is, if you're giving him a year, you'll give him two. If you'll
Yeah.
give him 2 years, you give him three. So
Yeah.
he'll keep delaying exactly what you want, but do enough to stay with you. So I don't you didn't go into detail with it,
Mhm.
but make sure when you're having these timelines, you're not giving it to him. You're just sharing with him your life. You plan on getting married in the
Yeah.
next year. You plan on
Yeah.
getting engaged in the next 3 months, whatever it is. And then you have to look at how the process works and not just wait for that year to come.
And also, ladies, if you are living with him or sleeping with him, it's going to be so hard
Hmm.
to detach. If, say, like a few months comes, 6 months, a year from
Yeah.
now, if you've been sleeping and living with him, it's going to be so hard to walk away from that.
Mm,
So, even in our situation, we talked about timelines. He was like 6 months to a year, we'll be married, within 6 months, engaged. And that timeline worked for me because I knew I needed a few months to get the kids acclimated to this new relationship and getting married. So I was okay with that timeline, but he had already shown he moved countries.
yeah.
Okay, so he had already shown that he was so serious, that he
Hmm.
literally rearranged his entire life, and we still did not sleep
Yeah.
together. We were not sleeping together, and I held that boundary. It was
Hmm.
so challenging,
Hmm.
but we held that boundary because like you said, men they'll drag it out,
Yeah.
right? And then now for you as a woman, you're sleeping with him, now you're bonded to him, now you're probably not going to walk away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. Another good question we said, how do you tell a guy you are just going on a few dates with him? I'm sorry. How do you tell a guy that you are just going in a few dates with, that you are dating others if they
Oh,
ask?
you don't tell him anything.
Exactly.
You don't need to tell a man that at
Mm.
all. Ladies, you don't need to volunteer information. That's like one thing I want you to stop doing, ladies, is volunteering information. Men don't volunteer information.
No.
When has a man said, "Oh, by the way, I have a roster"? No man
Yeah,
says that.
not at all. Unless they don't care about being with you.
Yeah.
Unless they're not looking to have an
Yeah.
exclusive relationship.
Yeah.
Most men don't say that. But if he's asking you, like you said, just tell him that you're enjoying getting to know him and you're
Yeah.
only dating for marriage.
Yeah, I mean, if he straight up asks you, "Hey, are you dating other people? Are you still on the dating apps?" You'd be like, "Yes, I'm intentionally dating for marriage." And what that means is I'm not sleeping with anyone, but I'm going on dates until I meet the right person that we're compatible with for marriage, and he's ready for marriage. And when you own your truth as a woman, when
Mm.
you're not feeling weird about it and insecure about it, men will mirror that energy. They'll respect you more. If you're weird about it and
Yeah.
like you're feeling insecure about it, then or you're like coming at this energy with like an ultimatum type energy, he's not going to like that. Right? So
Mm.
your energy is everything as a woman. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So, another great question. So, truly, how is it possible to heal a previous trauma in a
Mm.
relationship? Like, can share what you can do.
Oh, that's a really great question. And, that is something we have both been through. So there's a lot of new people here. I was formerly married.
Mhm.
So I was with my first husband basically since I was 18 years old.
Mm.
We were married together for almost 14 years. No, yeah, 14, 15 years. That's a long time.
Mhm.
Had 4 kids. He passed away from cancer. Okay. So I went through an intense amount of trauma from that entire experience. And I didn't know the stuff that we teach our women now. My husband, my now husband, he also went through a major loss. He was formally engaged. They were together for 5 years, planned a whole wedding, sent out wedding invitations,
Wow.
paid for the wedding, and then ended it. So we definitely understand
Yeah.
relationship trauma, which is why we're here. And so the biggest thing is you can't ignore what you've been through. You can't just like sweep it under the rug and then just like I'm just going to start dating another person.
No.
Because what will happen is that trauma it has been stored into your nervous system and it's subconscious. And what will happen even if at a head knowledge you think you're fine, which is most women in their masculine energy, like how I was, you think you're fine, right? And then you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go date, and you're attracting guys, and then triggers are gonna come up.
Mm. Yeah.
You're gonna realize that you're more triggered. You're gonna realize, why am I so anxious? Why am I overthinking? Why am I obsessing about this? Why am I attracting men that are inconsistent? Why am I attracting men that are like, my previous,
Yeah.
situationship or whatever it is that you've been through, right? So you have to take time, first of all, develop the awareness. This is why we have tools in our Feminine Energy Academy to help you identify your attachment style, if your nervous system is dysregulated, so then you can heal it. That's how you practically heal it. So the inner child healing, all the stuff that I teach you ladies, so then your nervous system feels fresh and ready to actually date. And what will happen when you're healed is when you're dating, you're going to feel unbothered.
Mhm.
You're not going to feel so triggered. You're not going to feel stressed like this is like hard work. You're going to be calm, you're going to have fun, and you're going to be so magnetic
Yeah.
to really healthy men because men mirror your energy. If you have not healed as a woman, you are going to attract men that have not
Yeah.
healed. That's how this works.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's so important to understand that time alone doesn't heal.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
even though time has passed and
Mhm.
maybe you've thrown it to the back of your mind, it's
Yeah.
not something that's present in your everyday thought process. Once you get back into those relationships,
Yeah.
into those situations, and specifically having a failed engagement,
Yeah.
once I got back to the place where
Mhm.
the engagement failed, then that was a place where the healing needed to happen,
Mhm.
or the same result would have happened, because
Yeah.
it's not about getting into a relationship
Yeah.
for some people. It's not about getting exclusive or even getting engaged for some people. It may be about that final step of
Yeah.
walking down the aisle. And if
Mhm.
it's not healing in that area, if you have past trauma
Mhm.
from maybe what you've seen, what you've been through,
Mhm.
what you just think about, then you won't be able to get past that point. So no matter how far removed from it you
Mhm.
think you are, if you haven't done any intentional healing and dealing with that trauma, then it's going to come up in some way. And then that's when your nervous system, that's when your whatever's in your subconscious is going to come out,
Mhm.
and you're going to respond that way. You're not going to have the answer unless you actually found the answer. It doesn't just arrive when you get
Yeah.
in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you want to just get curious. Don't judge yourself. Get curious. Look at what are my patterns,
Hmm.
type of people I'm attracting, or how my relationships have been, my situationships have been, my past marriage has been. And then that's when you want to get the coaching, get the feedback, get the mentorship, get therapy if you need to get therapy. Do whatever it is that you need to do so you don't keep repeating the same pattern. My husband got therapy, right? I spent thousands of dollars with my inner work, getting coaching and all this stuff. This is why we can coach this to other women because we've spent years doing our own inner work and we understand what it feels like to be where you're at. And I understand what it feels like to be a single mom with 4 kids
Mm.
re-entering the dating phase where it's like now they have dating apps and social media, which I
Right.
did not have back in the day when I first got married, right? It's a totally different world nowadays. So you want to have that skill set. Speaking of which, ladies, the Feminine Energy Academy, the price is going up.
Mm.
Now, this does not affect anyone that's currently in the Feminine Energy Academy. We wanted to let you know we also have a free 7-day trial. Okay. So you can jump in, you can try it for free, you can see if it resonates with you. You can binge watch the content in there, the training. You get us as your coaches. But the reason why the price is going up is we have continued to add so much amazing programs in there. You don't, it's not just one program,
Mm.
you have multiple programs in there. You know, whether it's hormones and weight loss, whether it's nervous system healing, healing your attachment styles, so you can master detachment. You know, we have our entire dating for marriage program in there. We have, you know, we help married women in there. We help you with your dating profile. And we also help you, we have a program in there to help you re regulate your nervous system and energy when it comes to money, right? So you can become a relaxed money
Mm.
magnet. So we just have so much stuff in there for you, ladies. So, yes, the price is going up. So if you don't want to be affected by that, I encourage you to jump in now, see if it's a good fit for you. If you went away, you want to come back, now is your time to come back so you can lock in that
Yes.
price and, you know, and have that discount for time to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let them know a little bit as well. Today we started our
Yeah.
90-day weight loss challenge. If you want to give them a little on that.
Yeah, so another thing that we've been doing that have been that's been so helpful for the women in our programs is we run 90-day sprints. So in
Mm.
business we call it 90-day sprints, you know, like Q1, Q2, Q2, Q3, Q4. So it's kind of like that where it's 90-day glow up challenge where I'm a certified hormone coach,
Mm.
former RN. So that's an area I really specialize is helping women heal their hormones, re-regulate their hormones. So that is something that you can focus on. So if you want to lose that extra 10 pounds or extra 100
Yes.
pounds, whatever it is you've been carrying around emotionally, physically, you got perimenopause symptoms, menopause symptoms, or you want to get pregnant, whatever the situation is, I have multiple weight loss and hormone programs in there for you. And we run 90-day challenges where you get daily accountability, daily support. You don't need to go to the gym. You don't need to count calories.
Mm-hmm.
But our women have reversed PCOS. They've shrunken their fibroids. They literally aging in reverse, our ladies, losing 10, 20 pounds, up to 100 pounds. I've had multiple women in our programs lose up to 100 pounds. We have women that have been able to release the emotional weight from grief and the loss that they've been through. So, yeah, you can jump in there. And we just started that challenge. You can jump in, or, if you're watching the replay, you can still jump in and join the challenge at
Yes.
any point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those challenges every 3 months, we're
Yep.
giving away cash prizes
Yes.
with those challenges as
Yep.
well. Wanted to jump to this next comment. Your husband seems so kind. This is a great person. I don't know who they
Okay.
are. No, your husband seems so kind. Love you both.
Oh, thank you so much. Who
Yeah.
is that that's saying that? Green blue. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to comment on this is people say this all the time, like, your husband seems so kind. He seems so kind. Yes, he is so kind.
Mm.
And I was so intentional as a woman when I was choosing who to date
Mm.
on the dating apps or who to talk to. My husband stood out to me because I could feel his energy through the photo.
Yeah.
And I was like, he seems like such a nice guy. I can just tell, I can feel his energy. And this is what I tell my ladies, date the nice
Yeah.
guys. I know if you have a history of dating bad boys or guys that breadcrumb you, how has that worked out for you?
Mm.
Probably not very good. It just stresses out your hormones, gives you high cortisol issues, right? As a woman, no, 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 no. Date the nice guys,
Mm.
ladies, because you're going to have a way easier life when you date nice guys,
Yeah.
okay? Guys that are just, as my husband says, he's more into you than you're into him at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, where he is just showing up and he's just looking for ways to make you
Mm-hmm.
happy. My husband still does this to
Yes.
this day. He has not changed from the time we were dating to now. But I was so intentional about dating only nice
Yeah.
guys for marriage. You want to become allergic to bad boys.
Mm.
You want to be allergic to men that crumb you or waste your time or trying to play games or confused about whatever their life choices are. You don't have time for that, ladies. Okay. Our hormones don't have time for that. Our feminine energy does not have time for that.
Yeah.
You want to live a soft girl life in dating and marriage, date nice guys.
And
Okay.
one thing to know as
Yeah.
well is men are so consistent. So if you're looking to date a bad
Mhm.
boy or a nice guy, whatever it is,
Yeah.
they're going to be that person all the time. They're
Yeah.
not going to be a bad boy in the streets, and
Yeah.
then when they come home, they're going to be,
Mhm.
the Christian guy that you want.
Yeah.
No, whoever they are is going to show up
Mhm.
all the time. And I grew up around so many different type of people.
Yeah.
Growing up in the neighborhood in Chicago, it was like these guys, okay, they're street guys, but you have those same challenges in the relationship because they bring that street mentality. And
Mhm.
these are guys that I still talk to this day, so they're good guys, but that the way that they do things is the way that they do things. So
Mhm.
you want to know that when you're looking for someone who you want to be a husband,
Mhm.
potentially a father to you, you
Mhm.
want someone who meets who maybe your father was or your uncle was or maybe
Mhm.
the mentor that you had, someone that you look at as a good guy who would be there for their family. But if you're looking for a bad guy,
Mhm.
trust me, you're going to have bad guy situations
Yeah.
within your relationship as well, and that just comes with the territory.
Exactly. So if you're like, but I'm not attracted to nice guys, they're boring. You like the guy that breadcrumbs you. You like the guy that you're in a situationship with
Yep.
because your hormones are addicted to it. You are neurologically addicted to him because of the dopamine hit. You know how people are addicted when they're scrolling on social media? That's the same kind of dopamine hit you get with that situationship. Okay. So that's an invitation for you to heal. If a guy is wasting your time, situationship, I'm not saying you're not going to have conflict in the dating stage, right? In relationships, of course, you're going to have conflict, but go watch our other videos. We're talking about how to resolve that conflict.
Yeah.
But most importantly, ladies, don't waste time with
Mm,
guys that are just, it's just going nowhere,
mm,
right? That's on you as a woman choosing men like
yes.
that. And if your nervous system is just really attracted, you like the butterflies and you're looking for the feeling in his presence, that's trauma. That's
Mm,
your old trauma. Okay. That's talking, right? Until you heal that nervous system, you're going to find those guys attractive and you're going to find the nice guys boring. Okay. So that's a big sign that you've actually healed your nervous system as a woman is you're going to find the nice guys attractive. You're going
mm,
to find the nice guys, the ones that other people call boring. You're going to be attracted to those guys.
yes.
Okay. And the guys that all these women are chasing after because they're so handsome and, they give you butterflies, whatever, and they're not healed, you're going to be turned off by those guys. Those guys are going to be boring to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you both are so amazing, and your views and
Oh,
opinions are
thank
so
you.
needed in the dating world today.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much. There was someone else that said something in our comments the other day. Oh, I posted. Okay, so I post, and I want to bring this up because this is another learning experience
Mm,
for you ladies. And this person commented on one of our shorts, of course, wasn't paying attention to the whole video,
mm,
like so many women that are unhealed do. They just extract one thing that I say and like go and have a rant
yes.
about it.
They'll do that in
And
conversations with men too.
yeah, which is why you're still
Yeah.
single or dating men that are not healthy, because you're not listening. You're
Hmm.
not listening. You're only, our perspective is our reality, right? And so if you haven't healed, you have blinders on when it
Mm,
comes to talking to people and listening.
hmm.
Anyway, I did a video and I was talking about date men that are ready to be married.
Hmm.
So don't just date guys if they say they love you, they want to be exclusive with you, they say they want to marry you. You have a connection, you have chemistry, you're attracted to each other. Don't just go based on that.
Yes.
Okay. You want to date men that are actually ready for marriage.
Hmm.
Now, I also said in that same video that make sure that he matches your love list, meaning that he is compatible with what it is that you want in a husband and in a marriage and in a
Mm,
lifestyle that you're calling in. That's really, really important is that you're using that as a reference point. But the biggest takeaway from that video that I was talking about that I want to reiterate here is date men that are actually ready for marriage
mm,
because you could come across a great guy, right? Great guy. I'll use my husband as an
hmm.
example. When we first met, matched my love list. Amazing guy. We had such an amazing connection on every
Yeah.
level, right? But at that moment, he wasn't ready to get married.
Hmm.
So instead of dragging it out, which he would have loved, I cut it off and I
Mhm.
was like, thanks, but no thanks. It was nice to meet you. Have a nice life. I wasn't triggered and I moved on. And I literally didn't think I was ever going to talk to him again.
Mhm.
It wasn't like, oh, come and chase me and,
Right.
and like, hopefully we'll get married. No, I was like, literally deleted everything, moved on with my life type energy, right? Why? Because I'm like, I'm not wasting my time. I'm only dating men right now that are ready for marriage. Okay.
Mm.
So I just wanted to bring that up again, add some clarity around it,
Yes.
because I just see women over and over again. They just want to date guys that they're attracted to or
Yeah.
that they like or that they say that like them. Yeah.
And to add to that point, I've even had the question like, how do you know when he's ready? How do
Mm-hmm.
you know when the guy's
Yep.
ready for marriage? And it's a two part. One
Yeah.
is he's done his healing,
Mm.
but for the second point is he makes a decision. It's not a feeling that a man's going to get. It's not something that's going to fall and overtake him.
Yeah.
And now, God is telling him to marry you. No, the
Yeah.
man makes a decision to get married. Then, he's ready to be married. We understand that we don't know everything about a marriage going in, but once we
Yeah.
decide as men, then we put all of our energy towards it and then we do what's necessary. So
Mhm.
it's not about, okay, I need to date you for 6 months to see how I feel and then we'll see if you're the person I'm gonna marry. No, we make that decision, but we know if you're even someone we're interested in marrying before and this is 3 to 6, well, basically about a month to 90 days.
Yeah.
We'll know if you're someone who's worth spending the time with. And then trust me, ladies, don't believe anything other than he's made a decision to want to marry you. Not that now he feels is the right time. And when I say make
Mhm.
a decision,
Yeah.
he's getting things in order as well,
Mhm.
financially,
Mhm.
spiritually, maybe with his house, with his job. So when he says that he wants to feel right or it needs to feel right, that may be what he's talking about, but
Mhm.
he makes a decision based on where he's at in his life and where he's at. If he's tired of being in the streets, if he's just tired of the old life, he'll
Mhm.
decide and make sure things line up so he's that husband that you desire, that you
Yeah.
want basically.
I mean, and this is why we encourage you ladies to date older men, men that are older than you, because they've had more time to mature, because women and men mature differently, right? And then also he's had time to
Mm.
get things in order. Of course, things don't have to be perfect, right? But he's had more time to get things in order to really be a husband. You want to date men that
Mhm.
want to be
Yes.
husbands, not get wife
Yes.
privileges. Ladies, let me repeat that for somebody right now, okay? You want to date men that want to be
Yes.
husbands, not just want wife privileges. Pretty much any man walking around wants a woman with wife
Yes.
privileges. 1000%. Which man wouldn't, right?
Yes.
But so you as a woman, you are the deciding factor. Do not waste your time dating men when a man is telling you, I don't know about marriage,
Mhm.
or I don't know if I'm ready for marriage. Okay, that's awesome. Like you have the right to be that way as a man. Don't shame
Yeah.
him for being that place in his life. Men are already putting enough pressure on themselves. Release him. Like, okay, have a nice life. I know you're going to make a great husband for somebody one day. He might need another 10 years or another
That's
5
true.
years to mature, right? And that's okay. Men, this is why, ladies, you have to understand women and men age completely differently,
Mhm.
right? And so this is why you don't want to be dating men that are younger than you or even the same age as you, because they mature so differently. It will make your love life and your dating life so much easier
Mm.
when you start dating older men that are established. They've done everything that they wanted to do, and they're ready to be husbands. Those are the easiest men
Yes.
to
Yeah.
date because they're not trying to figure out their life, right?
So true. So true. We
Yeah.
have another great question. She says, "This is the situation I seem to be in.
Mm,
He's not ready, and
mhm.
there are no hard feelings about it.
Yeah.
But he's still my friend on Facebook.
Okay.
Not sure if I should unfriend him."
It's fine. He can sit and watch. That was like my husband, right? He wasn't ready. I let him go. He still followed me on social. They can watch as long as you're not
Yes.
attached. Now, if you have an emotional connection to him, then, you might want to at least hide him from showing up on your social media. But, or if there's a toxic situation, then of course you want to block him. It doesn't sound like that's a situation with you, but he can sit and watch. Okay.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
definitely you want to, it all comes down to your energy. Are you
Yeah.
looking at him? Are you following his stories and things like that? If you find yourself just being curious about him, then that's not allowing you to detach from him. But if it's just him, I mean, we all have hundreds and thousands of social media friends that we never even see. So it's okay if you're not
Mm-hmm.
looking for him or anything like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, let him follow you, like you
Yeah.
said, and
Yeah.
he'll be looking and
Mm-hmm.
he'll be reaching out. You just have
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that you're in the right place in your life
Yeah.
where you know how not to respond, or if you respond in the right way.
Mm-hmm. And you want to stay in that wife energy, ladies, not booty call energy.
Yes.
Right? Men can tell that on social media.
Yes.
Okay. Even if you're single right now, ladies, you just went through a breakup or whatever, you want to stay embodied in wife energy, not booty call energy.
Yes. One more. I'm
Okay.
seeing a couple of comments here. Boring is good, believe it
Mm-hmm.
or not. My fiance is very predictable
Mm-hmm.
and consistent. Most amazing man I know.
See, ladies, and we hear this all of the time. All the women that I know that are engaged right now or are married went through this. And it's like, no, we want the boring guy, right?
Mm,
We want that guy. And it's not that he's boring, it's that he's
yeah.
consistent, he's predictable, he's not a headache.
Mm,
Okay, he's reliable.
mm,
He's there to make your life
yeah.
easier. And then so you as a woman, you bring that fun, you bring that chemistry. There's so many things you can do. It's easier to do that with a nice guy that's stable and consistent and what people call boring than it is to have a bad boy, a bad guy, that has unhealthy patterns and try to make him good.
Mm,
That's going to age you so fast as a woman. It's going to stress out your hormones. It's going to make you look old. And those are the relationships where you'll see them in like 10, 20 years from now. And the guy's looking so good.
yeah.
And the woman looks like life has beat the crap out of
Yes.
her. She looks older than him. Why? Because she's been dealing with guys where the guys are living their best life and
Mm,
you're busy working so hard.
yes.
Like, we are just not about that narrative anymore, ladies. Okay. You should be looking better than the guy, right? Because you are not stressed out and he is not stressing you out. Yeah.
Yes. So many other questions. If we didn't get to your questions this evening, jump into the Feminine Energy
Mhm.
Academy. You can private message us there with your question. Um, Once you jump in, let Coach Tosh know
Mhm.
exactly why you came in, what's going
Yes.
on, so she can help guide you
Yeah.
through and send you the right audios to listen to,
Yeah.
videos to watch, whatever the case. So definitely jump in so we can continue the conversation there.
Yeah, exactly. A private message me. I want to hear your story. I want to know what you're going through. I promise you, this is your safe place to re regulate your nervous system, your
Mm,
feminine energy, and your hormones. Okay, ladies, you are not going to regret it. And you are your highest return on investment. I want you to know that. You are your highest return on investment. This affects your love life, this affects your marriage, and this affects your body and your health. And we love you so much. And we're right here cheering for you.